Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Kimberly, and this is your March forecast for the spring equinox and the March 17th new moon in Pisces. Okay, so I'm going to touch upon what's going to be happening around that time over the next week or so in the energies of those of you that are along the ascension journey and in the twin flame journey as well. So couple of quick announcements is one, some of you have asked if I'm going to be holding my intensive program again. We just completed the second one, and so as that group has finished, I've decided that I'm going to create an online course with that work, and I'm developing that right now. It may take a couple of months, but it could be up sooner. As soon as that's up and available for you, I will let you guys know. Okay, it's going to be great. And if you're looking to maybe work with me in a private session or in a soul coaching capacity, you can book those sessions on my website, theilluminedguru.com. The links are on the channel art. And one new item is that I have a workshop coming up on March 25th. It's Sunday. I decided to hold this on a Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is going to be called Meeting Your Spirit Guide Team. So many of you have asked me for this, like when we're talking about psychic development and developing your gifts or knowing what's your intuition versus what's not. And this is going to be that workshop you guys have been asking for. So what we're going to do is we'll get together on the phone. It'll be a teleconference, and we'll talk for about 20-30 minutes about what is this? What is your spirit guide team? Who are your 5 major guides that are working with you? How do they communicate you, and what do they represent? And you'll learn all of that. And then you'll receive a coursework packet, and it'll have, for each guide, it'll have places for you to notate what you discover. And we'll go into a meditation. It'll take about 45 minutes of meditation, and you will go in and meet each guide. And then we'll come out of that. We'll have time for Q&A and to talk about some of your discoveries and answer your questions. And you'll be able to notate that for yourself. The workshop will be recorded, so you will be able to use that meditation in the future as well. If you want to go back to it or revisit something that wasn't clear, or just use that for a tool moving forward, even in your own teaching capacity. So that is going to be, like I said, Sunday, March 25th. The registration is open now on the website. I have a feeling it's going to fill up. I'm leaving 20 spots open in it, but I think it's going to fill to capacity. So if you guys want to get in on that, just reserve your spot soon. Okay? All right. So now let's move into the energies for the new moon in Pisces and this spring equinox that we have, which is pretty much like a new beginning. And what's happening is that we really cannot see exactly what this new beginning looks like, but we're being pulled towards it, especially the divine feminine. Okay. So the message, the overall message, and what I'm naming this segment is let it go, let it flow. We are in a very flowy energy right now with going into this Pisces new moon. And some of the inner workings of this new beginning that's being set up for you are not that clear. But what is clear is that your higher self is calling you to it. So how is your higher self talking to you? Your higher self is calling you through intuitive feelings, through fleeting messages, and through dreams. Okay, so intuitive gut feelings, like fleeting thoughts, and through your dreams. Dreams especially are going to be heightened and have been over the past few weeks. Your higher self is working overtime to bring you some messages to let you know what's going on, what you need to do, and and it's like the things that kind of you can't really see the forest through the trees in your own life. You will be receiving those messages from your higher self now. It's up to you whether you want to listen or not. I feel many of the feminine are hearing the calling and they're going with it. And this can mean that we are leaving. We're actually leaving our twin flames to go connect with soulmates in some cases. In some cases, we're going into separations with our twin flames. So I've seen this a lot over the past week or so. But these separations are different than they've been in the past. For the feminine, it's more about her harnessing her feminine energy. And she's kind of going like, I know this is my twin flame, but there's just toxicities here, or there's behaviors, there's ways that I deserve to be treated that I'm not receiving. And now I'm finally giving this back to myself. So in giving it back to myself, I'm realizing I can't accept less from someone else. And so what they're saying is this isn't for you right now. Like as you line up with yourself, the less than okay behaviors are going to be not okay. And what's coming up for the collective is that it's time to go. And I don't feel like it's a running energy. I feel like the feminine twin is actually conquering her abandonment wound. Whereas in the past, she's been reluctant to like take the pause or to step away from what's been toxic or to draw the healthy boundary or to align fully with her power. There's something that's being healed within her, and it's the purging that we did in February. It's all that shadow stuff that's been coming up over the past few months. She is coming to a place where walking away to get, it's not even like she's walking away from her twin flame. She's walking away from things that don't align with her divinity, with her divine self. So she's saying like, I feel good. I actually feel at peace making this decision. I don't feel like I need to chase, or I don't feel like I need to scream or throw a fit or feel rejected. She's saying like, I'm actually getting over this feeling of abandonment, rejection. And I'm able to see that this isn't in alignment for me right now. So I have to go to what feels good. And she's hearing the calling of her higher self. And it's calling her to move forward in alignment. And what that looks like, we can't see. We don't know what's here. We just know that she's being called. And for most cases, she's going. I'm seeing it across the board in my intensive program, on the YouTube comments, from clients. It's amazing what's happening. And I'm not promoting twin flame separations. What I'm saying is that in many twin flame dynamics, there has been this tolerance of not being treated well, or being abused, or not being valued. And in the lining up with yourself, what happens is it creates an energetic vibrational split, right? Where you cannot stay and do a dance in the vibration of your twin when you are elevating and ascending and healing the deeper pieces. And it is through that alignment that you are going to help actually uplift your twin as well. But that's going to be, they're going to do that on their own, okay? They're going to come into their masculine, for those of you that are watching this, they're identifying with the feminine, they're going to come into their masculine power now on their own. And it needs, for many, not all, because some are coming into union now. Some are getting ready to come into union. And if you're those people, I'm going to speak to you in a moment, but those of you who are actually going into separation, it's so that you can harness your power. And also remember, if you've healed this feminine, the masculine needs to heal this too. And so you're going away to align with yourself, and being able to do that is actually the gift that will help him step further into his divine masculine. And when I tell you that when I pulled these cards, I did not purposely pull yin and yang, but this is how the feminine and masculine showed up in the present right now. Yin and yang. I mean, I've never even seen this happen. So it's really talking about coming into your full power. So let's talk a little bit more about what's happening with the masculine. So masculine is, they're saying he's underneath this, harnessing his divine masculine power. coming into what he really wants, what he really knows, coming into his truth, he is still a little bit in between worlds, okay? For some of the masculine, this is still being stuck in that karmic relationship, not being able to break free, having one foot in one relationship, having one foot with the twin flame. This could be him coming into some of his spirituality, stepping into it, but being afraid and not going all the way, or having glimmers of it, but not going all the way. And he is being called higher into the 5D. And so, this will be something that is going to assist him. He'll be receiving more signs, more heightened messages. And this is still some unresolved fear that's keeping him stuck, like fear of the disbelief of what could be, right? Of all the things that he wants and desires. Disbelief is kind of keeping him stuck in the old stuff, or stuck in the old behaviors, or stuck in the old patterns. It's and it's disappointing to some of the feminine, right? Because she's like, wait, I see the potential. I see you stepping through. But wait, you're still stuck. But that's why we need to release. They're saying let go and just let it flow. Let yourself be guided, because for both the masculine and feminine, it's time to go, and we're going towards ourselves. That's the choice. That's why it's coming up as yin and yang. This is why we're making the choice to go to ourselves. And for some of you have done enough of this work where this choice to step into your full divine feminine power, some of you are ready to come into union. Okay? But those of you who aren't are choosing yourselves. And what I feel with the masculine is like crowning over him is this happy card. And this is like saying, like, you have the keys to your unhappiness, masculine. You can stay stuck in the old ways, or you can step through to that new life that's waiting for you. You can shed those old behaviors and old patterns, or you can stay where you're at in a cyclical motion and kind of stuck and unhappy. But you hold the keys to your freedom. You hold the keys to your happiness. You hold the keys to everything that you're desiring. Okay? And that is going to come through stepping into your truth, which is stepping into your divine masculine power. And this is still, we need to balance the polarities from within for both the masculine and the feminine. But this is talking about both getting into a balanced energy and harnessing their divine power. And this is lining up with our truth, our value, who we are at the core, our authentic selves as connected to our divinity, what we deserve, how we desire to be treated. All of these things are so important. So the shared energy is the regeneration card. So this is talking about, this is like a new way of being, coming fully into your power, coming fully into your divine feminine, divine masculine power is going to be a whole new way of being. For many of the feminine, you're walking away for the first time, not because your ego running, but because you're healing your inner wounds and getting in full alignment with this power. And saying, you know what, that's not for me right now. And I need to step away to align with me and do what I need to do and to hear my soul's calling. So under this regeneration, what we're seeing is the masks. So all that glitters, and it's like, this is still about ripping off some masks. This is ripping off the masks that we wear, right? Anything, like I said, I feel the feminine moving in that place where she's letting go of like any places where she's run out of fear or defense or ego. And for the masculine, I feel like he's still wearing the mask, many of the masculines, many, not all, but he's still wearing the mask. And it's either going to be like, for some of you, it may be coming in the form of like some revelation of a like deception or something that feels like, oh my God, you didn't tell me that. However, it's a gift, and I want you to know that ripping the mask off right now on the masculine side is something that's going to enable him to step in touch with his true self. It's just that he may not be taking it off. She may be like ripping down his mask. through information that comes. So I don't want to scare you, because some of you are like, oh my God, is he cheating on me? What am I going to find out? It's not like that. I just feel like there may be information that comes through where you're like, okay, wish I knew that, or that doesn't feel like you've been forthright with me, or maybe he's been saying something and not been in alignment with it totally, or masking in some other areas. But this could come in all different forms, the way he's masking. But it feels to me like because the feminine is aligning with her true power, she's able to see through the masks. She's able to take off her own masks to act and walk in line with her truth. And this in itself is going to help the masculine, even if it comes in the form of a pain or separation. Because it's that pain or separation that'll force the masculine through the next threshold, which is going to be a push towards his truth and happiness. Going all the way into his truth, not being stuck anymore, and not staying in that karmic relationship, not, being chained to the old beliefs, but allowing himself to fully move forward. And we see this happening. I feel like this is happening early April. Okay. Like between now and early April, this is where this feels like it's coming in. And for the feminine, I'm sorry, she's at this point now where she's ready to take some action and back it up. And we are going into a Mercury retrograde cycle. And so I think we're already up upon it right now. So we're in a pre-shadow phase until the 21st. And then it's going to station in retrograde on March 22nd, March 23rd, and then we'll feel the post effects. It'll be a retrograde for a while. We'll feel the post effects through April, and even through May, we'll feel some of the effects. But the majority of this will be happening in March, around the 23rd. And it's important to know that during a retrograde cycle, you might be looking back at the past, right? Not only do we have communication snafus and, electronics breakdown, and we shouldn't be making major decisions or signing agreements during this time, or get your taxes done before or after this. But make sure that during this time, if you need to communicate or walk away from something, that you do so clearly and with a honor to your own boundaries and in speaking your truth. And it'll probably be best received prior to the Mercury officially going into retrograde on March 22nd, March 23rd. Because otherwise communication is going to become very, very mucky, confusing. There'll be misconstruing, misunderstandings, mix-ups. So get in touch with what is your truth. You may not know. The scariest part is that you may not know what you're moving towards, like I said, but that you hear a calling. Something's telling you, this isn't right for me right now, or I need to go do this, or I need to go focus on me. I need to step away and take some time for myself. That's okay, because you're not running this time. Not the feminine. I don't feel like she's running. And that's a huge, huge, huge leap and victory for the feminine. This is you ascending. This is big. One of the things that we're going to have to release in order to do this is this TikTok. Well, I wonder if we will come together in the future. I wonder if this, and how long is it going to be, and or waiting for your masculine to change or whatever. And they're saying you don't have to wait to get in alignment with yourself, okay? And surrender is not about looking at the clock. Surrender is about trusting. Surrender is about holding space for someone and just allowing things to flow. You cannot be holding on tightly to the timelines, time frames, expectations, and be allowing things to flow. That you can't possibly do two things at once. So they're saying release this, release that clock, release that need for attachment, to the need to know what the timeline will be. You can elevate the timeline just by getting in alignment with yourself and then sending out positive intentions. Problem is, most of us are sending out our intentions and we're not in alignment. We haven't cleared all that negativity. So we're setting out intentions with 3D attachment that look like this. And you know what that creates? It creates twin flames repelling from one another, not coming closer. So clear the negative energy from within and all the aspects and all the levels I've talked about in my past videos, and work on getting in alignment with yourself, because it's in doing that and fully loving yourself. Go see A Wrinkle in Time. Oh my God, amazing movie. I can't highly recommend it or recommend it highly enough. I never really read the book as a kid, and I didn't know how far ahead of its time this book was. And it's really about the ascension journey, and it's so beautiful. And so we need to release the time. The time does not matter. The time that you are away from one another makes no difference. There is no time. And so it's about your process. And so how quickly can you line up with yourself and come into alignment and get into your happy place and get into your joy and stop resisting and stop blocking yourself and line up with your soul's purpose and what's calling to you? Because when you do that, you'll find everything is just going to flow your way. Okay? It's an amazing thing. You can talk to other twin flames who are coming into union or healing their wounds and healing their stuff, and they will tell you, we'll be seeing more and more of these couples come forth over the next 6 months, year, and they will tell you that when they did these energy clearing tools and really worked on themselves and got in alignment with themselves, that's how they started to come closer together. Okay? In the last message piece of advice I have here is the serendipity card is coming. And I just love that this came up because, one, it's an 18 card, which is 2018. And I saw this in the early forecast in January. I'm like, this is going to be a serendipitous year. And also March 17th, that's our new moon in Pisces, and that's also St. Patrick's Day. And I feel like the serendipity is coming around this time, right around the spring equinox. You're going to have a chance to meet people, lucky encounters, but this is only going to happen if you let it go and let it flow. If you listen to your soul's calling and just trust. And magnificent things are going to open up for you. Chance meetings, new opportunities, new ideas, ways to cultivate things, the gatekeeper holding the key to get you through that gate that was formerly blocked. This is what this magic is that we have at our fingertips this month. And it's all dependent upon you lining up with yourself, okay? In the bottom of the deck, so those are the two advice cards, and the bottom of the deck is the Treasure Island. And this is what I feel like we are moving towards. This is our reward for doing all this work, for doing all the clearing and purging, all the good stuff, all the joy, all the abundance, all the treasures are found within you when you get in alignment with you, with Source, with yourself. And so some of you will ask me, or some of you are thinking, so if I walk away from my twin flame now because certain things aren't aligning for me, like, what does that mean for the connection? It means that you're stepping further into your ascension journey. When you can make a step towards yourself, towards greater self-love and alignment with your values and alignment with your boundaries, and not do it from a place of defense or fear or running because of this abandonment, orphan wound, that's your truth. That's you stepping into your truth. So the only thing it can mean for your connection is that you will uplift your connection. That means you'll uplift the other person. That means you're going to help them step into their truth by doing this as well. It doesn't mean that you're supposed to come together. It doesn't mean that, although you can if you desire to. It just means that you're going to uplift one another. So many of you are still asking, what is this all about? This whole journey is about self-love. If you haven't got that by now, you need to go in and start learning from the beginning. What are these self-mastery tools? How do I get in alignment with the ascension journey and not with trying to come into union? This is a self-mastery journey. This is about self-love. That's how we come into wholeness and can come into union with our twin flames. Okay? And sometimes when we come into wholeness, we can actually see or hear our soul's calling better, and we'll start to see what those contracts are. We'll know if we're supposed to come into with our twin flame for this lifetime, and we'll be able to create that that magnetism. And for some, you'll line up with soulmates who will be perfect for your healed self and your whole self, and that'll be a product of this catalytic conduit experience with your twin flame. And in any scenario, you have the opportunity to heal yourself to get on your highest path. And this experience in your twin flame dynamic, what is sparking is you getting on your mission as well. And so if you haven't got on your mission yet, but you already know where that is or where that lies within you, go towards it. Just, you don't need to know exactly what it looks like, but go towards it. Okay? I am a living, breathing product of this journey. Look at this. I don't know if all you guys know, but I have a successful coaching business. I love working with my clients, doing these workshops and doing sessions and making these videos, and I'm growing something new. I'm working on a new project to take this even further and expand and share my gifts. And this happened just through having the guts to put it out there in some vulnerable blog. And so you all can do it too. You all have the same beautiful gifts. You all have the gifts of, you have metaphysical gifts, you have intuitive gifts, you have healing gifts. You are here to uplift others. And I know that the more and more you align with yourselves, the more and more you allow yourself to be taken, to listen to your soul's calling and really hear that truth, you're going to line up with the path even more. And if you see there is a doorway back here, okay, that's it. All you have to feel is the pull. You don't need to know what's through that door. You just need to know this feels good. I'm moving in the right direction. It doesn't feel yucky. It's not bringing me down. It's bringing me up. I'm able to transmute my pain into helping others. I'm able to, feel a sense of peace by not staying where I feel powerless. And I'm able to break the chains that have held me back by speaking my truth. All of those things are going to help you move forward on your ascension journey. Okay, so I'll leave you with that, and I will be back probably towards month's end for an energy update as we get into the full moon in Libra at the end of the month. And I'll see you guys then, okay? Happy spring equinox. I can't believe it's this time of year again. And I will see you guys soon. Okay, bye. Mwah.